Hello. So I'd been like trying to comfort myself throughout trying times over the past couple weeks, and I had ended up like revisiting a lot of media that I used to love when I was younger, like not even intentionally, but obviously like not only do those things feel like a big warm hug and are very comforting, I was surprised as well that they actually made me want to like make things again. I used to play Animal Crossing Wild World on the DS from when I was about like 5 or 6. And then after I found out about YouTube, like a couple years later, I found people online that like made animations and drawings of like the Animal Crossing characters, and so I started doing that too. And I found like Clannad through someone's recommendation on their channel. That was like the first anime I ever watched, and after I watched that show, like I started trying to draw everyone in the crazy art style, and I loved music, so I learned to sing the Dango song and that like started me on a path of like years of loving to draw and years of learning the Japanese language and getting my GCSE outside of school when I was 13. I even went on to like study it at university for a bit. Yeah, also when I was younger, like I ended up getting a £5 ukulele from a charity shop and like started writing my own songs, and later on that led to me like training as an actor musician and like joining a band and making an event with my friend. It's just kind of crazy how just following that childlike curiosity to just delve so entirely into your interests and like let it take over your life in whatever way is possible, like just led to so many different things happening and like so many moments of creativity and like fun and just so many different like paths in my life that like I never could have predicted. Yeah, it just feels like this kind of like domino effect of all of these things. And yeah, I just think that's really cool. And I was just kind of like, oh, I don't really do that anymore. Like I don't feel that same, I don't know, compulsion to just like dive into things anymore. Or when I do, like maybe I tend not to follow that instinct, or I second guess myself, or I think it's cringe and I'm not good enough at it and it's not serving any greater purpose, so like why would I waste my time doing it? But looking back, when I first started drawing, for example, I was literally awful. I was so shit. And I'm awful now because I haven't done it for so long. But it didn't even matter at the time, like how good I was. I just enjoyed doing it. And the same with music. The more I did it, the more like good things I ended up producing along the way. But like also along the way, I really started to care about how good the things were. And it is just a shame how much that stops us from just exploring something and learning how to do it by actually doing the process. Like not thinking we have to learn first in order to be able to do it. Or even if we just do it and we don't improve at it along the way, we just have fun, or we express ourselves, or we express our feelings. I don't know, like creating stuff just used to be my response to anything, to the media that I consumed. I would draw the characters. The music that I would listen to, I would learn to sing or play the songs myself just by ear, or like by, I don't know, watching a YouTube tutorial. I didn't even have any like technical understanding of what I was doing, but that wasn't the point. And I would write my own songs to like express and try to understand how I was feeling, make up my own stories and worlds and characters, and they didn't need to go anywhere. Like they didn't need to do anything. They were just for me, kind of just because it was fun to do that, and that was just like my natural response. I feel like I lost so much sight of those things like along the way, because I feel that like as soon as I try to externalize the things that I love doing into like, okay, then maybe I should pursue that as a career, maybe I should study these things as art forms, they really lost so much joy for me, because it was such a pure thing originally. Like it came from such a pure intention of making stuff basically just for like the love of the game, because that is what I would do in response to the world as I experienced it. When I do like stop expressing myself creatively as much, like I do end up feeling a little bit voiceless. But then when I do come to make something, I feel like I put so much pressure on it that it needs to be good or beautiful or understandable or watchable or postable or perfect or correct. But there is no right way. There is no right way to make something. And it's fine to just make bad things and for them to be bad, and possibly to never even get any better. For you to never gain like a further technical understanding than you have, you can still just make stuff from that place, and that's actually okay. It's not morally superior to want to study and master something that you enjoy. Like, that's a great thing, and if someone wants to do that, like, that's amazing. You absolutely can do that, and yeah, in some ways that is going to make you better at doing the thing that you enjoy. But then in other ways, when you do start to really study something or treat it in kind of a capitalist way, there is a sense of like the beginner's whimsy and like pure intention that sometimes can be lost along the way, or I feel like is lost for me when I start to treat stuff that way. And yeah, because I've been like so fearful and anxious of doing everything the right way, or like not thinking that I'm good enough anymore to engage with things that I apparently like doing, I end up not having any real creative engagement with things that much anymore. So I would really like to connect to that part of myself again, and I do think that revisiting the media that I used to love as a kid has been a good start, like completely unintentionally, because it actually just gave me that feeling again, like I felt compelled to act in response to those things that I loved and like used to be so obsessed with. And just like allowing yourself to do those things when you do get the impulse. Like the other day I was listening to some music and I felt so impacted by it, and I felt like I needed to do something in response, so I just took my notebook out and I started drawing and I started writing the lyrics, and it didn't need to be anything more than just that was my response in that moment. It didn't need to become like, now I'm gonna take back up drawing again. Or I was taking a walk in the park yesterday and I was listening to some instrumental music and I felt like I wanted to like write some lyrics to it, or I wanted to like sing along to the music, so I sat on a bench and like I started writing some words to the music, and I may never revisit those words, and that's perfectly fine. Like I actually feel completely fine about that, whereas I feel like before I always had it in my mind of, well, I need to do it as a consistent practice or it's not worth doing, or I need to do it as a consistent practice because then when I feel inspired it will be better and it will be good. And like, yeah, that may be true, but unfortunately I know about myself that I'm not someone that feels inspired by wanting to master something. I feel inspired by just being able to have like random tools at my disposal. When I do feel a creative motivation out of nowhere, I do like to just be able to follow it in that moment. And yeah, for it to not be so serious and heavy, like that's what makes me feel inspired about making stuff and art. And I absolutely don't mean to say that like creative practice isn't valuable, or like there's something wrong with like studying art or studying something that you enjoy. Like I don't think that's true, and I do think this mindset is kind of in and of itself a creative practice. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm saying anymore. I feel like I'm saying about 5 different things in one, but I just really enjoyed feeling that genuine creative impulse again, and I'm trying to kind of listen to that when it pops up, which is really lovely, and trying not to tell myself that it's life or death and it's going to be good or bad. I'm just kind of allowing that to be a moment in time. And yeah, I do miss in a little way just like falling down the rabbit hole of something and just allowing your like kind of creative child to just like run free with something and be like, yeah, just completely obsessed with something like unapologetically and want to like draw all of the things, like sing the theme song, all of that stuff. Like I think it's so fun and like pure. Don't really know what I'm saying anymore, but thank you if you listen to me about it. Take care, have a good day, goodbye.